Welcome to 9 Bob Note with Paul Isles-Rush and Ken Moss.
Hi everybody and welcome back to 9 Bob Note. I am Paul.
Ahoy, I'm Ken.
Things have got serious this week. We've just about recovered from the Jubilee celebrations. Ken has got his iPad out.
Pride 50p coin. You were terrified there. You thought it was going to be something deadly serious. Now, the Royal Mint have issued a 50p coin with the Pride logo on it. It's to celebrate 50 years of the Pride UK movement.
Yes.
I'm just going to read a little bit off the Royal Mint website. Based on the core values of visibility, unity and equality, Pride UK is one of the most enduring cultural movements in the United Kingdom. Over the years, the event has evolved from a political protest into a vibrant celebration of the LGBTQ community, making Pride UK a true highlight of the UK's annual event calendar. Now, in its 50th year, Pride UK is more popular than ever, uniting LGBTQ plus communities nationwide in a colourful celebration of positivity, solidarity and inclusivity. In honour of this historic milestone, we celebrate the legacy of Pride UK with a new commemorative UK 50p designed by the artist, writer and LGBTQ plus activist Dominique Holmes. Featuring Dominique's evocative artwork, the coin encompasses the very essence of Pride's history in the UK and marks the first time we have celebrated the UK's LGBTQ plus community on a UK coin. The UK coin will be launching this summer, and for the record, that's 2022. I have no strong feelings either way. Obviously, it doesn't really technically apply to me. It's not a symbol that represents me per se, but I just wondered if this had A, flagged up on your radar, and if B, you gave a shit.
Yeah, it has. Somebody actually sent me the link at work the other day, and it is something there's been quite a bit of discussion about it. It can't be a bad thing, can it? I mean, it's not like anyone is being forced to do these. They're not going to go into general circulation. There will be legal tender.
Yeah. Then they're not. They're just going to be commemorative coins.
Yes.
I misread it. I thought they might actually.
Yeah, and obviously, when you buy one, it costs a lot more than 50p. But it's nice as you just said. The Pride UK movement has been going for 50 years, and it's something to celebrate. And it's nice. It's a nice little rainbow-coloured coin.
It's quite a pretty design, actually.
Yeah, it's colourful. There are a couple of elements that have sort of got people's backs up, as I'm sure you will have expected.
Obviously, yes.
Because why not? The first one is that this kind of thing happens around about this time every year. Companies, I believe it's called pride washing, which is a new word.
Well, this is sort of the back door, so to speak, as to this episode is obviously it's just another thing that's had the pride symbol or the pride rainbow flag stamped on it. To the gay community, it's not so much what does it mean, but how do you feel about things when they are put on something like as significant as a 50p coin, but then when they're hijacked by people who just slap a rainbow on something and call it pride, and it's utter shit.
Yeah, the coin, as you say, it's an official coin issued by the Royal Mint. It's not just, it's Pride season. It's to celebrate the 50th anniversary. So that is, I guess, kind of a good thing. But as you say, there's a lot of companies, and it's pretty much all companies around about June time every year. They, as you say, just stick a rainbow on it. Sometimes it's a good thing because it is nice to have, sort of clothing companies who make a Pride range of T-shirts and, things like that. But then you also have to think about, are they doing it to support Pride, or are they just doing it because they know that we'll all spend our money on these pretty rainbow-coloured things? There is always that danger. I mean, we had Pride gin.
Oh dear.
Which was, I don't even think it was gin, was it?
Simon Exton described it as vodka.
Yeah.
It was massively over distilled. It didn't taste of anything. Oh, that was dreadful.
Yeah. And you get just Pride everything. So if it's serious and it means well, and the way you can often tell is if they're raising the money. So, for example, if a clothing company brings out, say, a range of T-shirts, what are they doing with the profits from the sale of those T-shirts? And a lot of companies will donate the profits to LGBTQ charities. A lot of them don't mention it because they're just in it to get the pink pound.
Yeah.
So
pink pound. See, that was another thing I was going to raise on the. I've only been familiar with this expression for maybe 12 months. It was one of the Pride specials we did for the Exton Moss experiment, and I'd never heard of this. The pink pound. Oh, yes. I mean, explain that to me.
I think it goes back to the sort of the idea that gay people or LGBT people don't have kids, don't have any responsibilities. They don't have to pay for weddings because they weren't allowed to get married, and they don't have any responsibilities. They just have, so all of their income is disposable income, and that's the idea behind it. Because gay men, in particular gay men, because obviously that's who it generally was aimed at, would be seen, on TV shows. I mean, the Queer as Folk we've spoken about a few times. Either they had really good jobs, they drove really good cars, they had these amazing loft apartments, and they could go out partying every night of the week. Money was no object. And that it was that sort of the idea of that's how gay people live because they don't have any responsibilities. So that then companies started to sort of catch on to that and aim their marketing at that particular market, which is where the pink pound comes from. Obviously, not so much these days because, well, like most of the country, LGBTQ people are living in abject poverty. So there's not so much of the pink pound, but then it does still apply. But it's just one area that marketing is aimed at, and that's where you sort of have to be a little bit canny. But then it's up to you. If I see something that I want to buy because it looks nice, or, if I see a Pride gin, and I've heard one of your other podcasts where you review gin and you said you gave it 5 Bernards, then I might think, oh, well, it looks pretty in the bottle and it's got 5 Bernards. This is the scale that you
the scale we're on in the tonic screwdriver. That's
talking nonsense. Then I would be, tempted to buy it regardless of where, is this money going to an LGBTQ charity? But there is that element of our companies just doing this to exploit it.
You see, because we reviewed Pride Gin was completely, as far as we can tell, totally unaffiliated with anything to do with Pride. It was just, I think it was. Gin. Well, certainly, I might be wrong. I might be doing it a disservice though. It might have been the official gin of Pride, but it was utterly dire. They just spanked this label on a bottle of terrible gin, and presumably conned a lot of people into buying it based on the fact that it had a label on it that, put a bit of effort, guys. If you're going to do something like that, it's like... but Stonewall, they've produced a few gins,
yes.
But conversely, they were really good.
Yeah,
now, I don't care whether my money was going to Stonewall, but I was buying something, and the entire history of Stonewall was on the bottle. It raised my awareness by drinking Stonewall gin, which surely is the whole point of having something with a label on it like that. Yeah. So whether or not any of my money did go, because they did 2 that we did, and on the back of the reviews, because Simon, he brought 2 bottles. There was a Stonewall gin, a rhubarb gin. I went out and bought a bottle of the rhubarb gin because it was that good. So I don't know whether any of my money went to Stonewall itself, but it certainly did.
Racial.
Yeah, stuff that I had no idea that it started really by trans people, that Stonewall. So all this was, I learned something from that rather than it just being buy this because it's got Stonewall on it.
Yeah, and the opposite of that is with the Pride gin, which is getting far more exposure than it deserves. But
don't buy this.
Even if that was affiliated with something, or it was there to raise money, and they said 50p from the sale of every bottle will go to Pride charities. The fact that they just did,
the least amount of effort.
Yes, exactly. They put that label on a shit gin and just thought, well, people are going to buy it anyway. Who cares what it tastes like? I mean, that's more offensive than
well, you got your fingers burned last week, didn't you, when you were buying the Jubilee party stuff for the street party?
Yes.
And that was just Amazon. Well, Amazon didn't sting you. The company did.
Yeah, and that was it. You can order some Union Jack napkins, but if you order Union Jack napkins for a Jubilee party, all of a sudden they're twice the price. It's exactly the same product, but where's that extra money going to?
But didn't you get you got a couple of party boxes, didn't you?
Yeah, well, they were called party boxes, and the picture that came with them was of this beautifully decorated table with a Union Jack tablecloth and Union Jack plates, and I think there were hats.
But it was a table in a Sylvanian family's dollhouse.
Yeah, because I ordered them from Amazon. It was $12.99, and I ordered 2 for our street party. And and the Amazon guy, when he handed me the box, I was just like, well, I've ordered quite a few things.
Where's the rest of it?
Yeah, and he's like, no, it's just one parcel. And I opened it, and it was awful. It was you couldn't put a scone on the plates; they were so small, and the napkins were smaller than the plates. And the tablecloth it would not have carpeted a Sylvanian family house. Because it was for the Jubilee party, they just carte blanche charge what you want.
Yeah, I do hate that when it's when a brand it gets out of control and they'll just slap it on everything.
Yeah, there was a bit of I say uproar. There was a bit of backlash when Marks and Spencer's a couple of years ago, I think it was, and they rebranded their BLT sandwich for Pride. They rebranded it LGBT. They put guacamole on it. and I think some of the money from the sale of those did go to LGBT.
That must have been fucking disgusting.
But I mean, I'm a fan of guacamole, but it was just
like pureed frog. Oh.
But it was, it was so silly. And obviously, it ignited the fury of the homophobes who are like, well, I'm never shopping at Marks and Spencer's again.
I'm not buying gay bacon. Get this back to Russia.
But,
didn't fight a war and have an empire.
But there are, every year, there's so silly stories like that. One point that somebody did raise on the back of the coin being announced, which obviously, although the Royal Mint is not part of the government, they are obviously commissioned by the royal family. And one person, or quite a few people, said, instead of commissioning us a coin, what we'd actually like is a ban on conversion therapy, and various other a list of various other things, protection of trans rights, and all the other things that they've been campaigning for and that we continue to campaign for. And I thought, yes, I do get your point. We do want all these, but I don't think anyone suggested that
it's an either-or situation.
Yeah. Well, you can't have any of those things, but here have a shiny coin. So why can't we have both? Well, there's a reason why we can't have both, but the coin, as you say, it's pretty, it's nice, it's something that just if you get one, it'll be like, oh yeah, Stuart went to Asda the other day and came back with these. Asda have got a Pride range this year, and he came back with these 2 garden gnomes.
Oh, for God's sake, Stuart!
And they're wearing it's a man and a woman, or a male presenting and a female presenting garden gnome carrying, and they're dressed in rainbow outfits, and they're carrying pride flags, and their dungarees say love on them, and they're so cute but so tacky. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you bought those. It's so funny. But I mean, he bought those for a bit of a laugh. They were only a couple of pounds each. But the fact that there's all these Pride related products, and it's great in a way because people want to celebrate, and people who are going walking. This year's the first time for a couple of years that they've been able to have Pride parades and things like that, so people are going to be going all out. But I think a lot of companies do recognise that, and so therefore they've been straight in with it, stick a rainbow on everything. Where are those NHS T-shirts from 2 years ago? Let's just change the logo on them, stick a badge on them. But yeah,
maybe you could, there's a back door here to maybe you could have gay conversion therapy kits with a rainbow pride flag on it. Pride gay conversion therapy. What they don't know is that it actually turns people into gay.
yeah. We didn't say which way it was going to convert
you. See, box clever, kids. Come on, think outside.
That's what people already think that we do. There was a thing while we're talking about supermarkets. There was a thing. Of course, it was in the Daily Mail.
Oh God! Don't read the Daily Mail. Do not read the Daily Mail. Just don't.
Outrage! Sainsbury's selling trans T-shirt for 3-year-olds, and it was a T-shirt there were no flags, but rainbows and different motifs. It said love, and it had rainbow colours on it. And it did have the pink and blue, which has become synonymous with the transgender.
I always thought that was the bi flag, but obviously not.
No, bi is... I don't know, I'll have to look it up. But maybe if we listen back to our episode on flags, I'm sure that
was many weeks ago. Many gins have flowed under the table.
But yeah, but it doesn't say anywhere on it gay rights, trans rights. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't have pictures of two men or anything like that. But outrage at Sainsbury's selling trans T-shirt, and the comments were all that Sainsbury's is trying to turn your child trans by giving them this T-shirt when they're 3, and nobody. And it's just like, that is not how gay people and trans people work. We don't get turned into this by wearing a T-shirt or by seeing a T-shirt, just as much as me being given a Liverpool football shirt when I was a boy did not turn me into a football fan.
Disclaimer, that was a joke. God.
You can joke about many things.
I know, the car will be up on bricks tomorrow morning. We watched Transformers when we were younger, and it turned us trans.
Well, no.
Yes. We'll get letters about that now. Anyway, balls to this. Let's rate this in feather boas. So in terms really of pride branding, how big a thing is this?
It's big business, and I think it's quite important. It can, as we've said, it can get a bit silly. But, how often when we were kids did we have pride flags to wave or a T-shirt that says, "I'm queer, get over it," or something like that. But it's not necessarily something that I would wear. But
3-year-olds striding around, "I'm gay, go away."
Where's the Daily Mail? But I like the fact that if somebody wants to go out and get stuff like that, then yes, I'm a little bit cynical about some of the companies and their reasons behind it. But then if they're making nice things that we're going to like, if they're making horrible things and just expecting us to buy it because they put a rainbow on, then that could be a problem.
So, boas out of 5?
I am going to go, because it's Pride season and it's pretty much everywhere. There's a rainbow on everything. I'm going to go 4.
I'm going to go 3. I think it's one of those that could, because it could go either way. It could be either a force for good, or it could be abused terribly, which we've seen it in both directions. Obviously, everybody likes their own symbol. It's we've all, whatever interest we've all got our own symbol for things. I'm just trying to think what mine would be, but there'll be something that I'll have seen, and it would be nice to see it on a film or on a box of cereal, or maybe a Doctor Who logo on something. They're running a Doctor Who Kellogg's Frosties or something. Hey. I have no idea. I've run away with itself there. But yeah, it's branding on things you do feel an affinity with. Like, oh yeah, I'm leaning towards that. I'll buy that just because it's got that on it. So, but it could go either way. I think when it's abused and you buy something that's utter tat, you feel cheated. And you've associated yourself with that, and I'm against your cause now. So
yeah.
So yeah, middle of the road.
I did see Russell T Davies the other day, and he was wearing a pin badge in the shape of the TARDIS, but it was a rainbow-coloured TARDIS, and it was ace.
Vandalism.
I've been trying to track it down ever since, but it's unavailable. So that can be our badge.
There is an episode from Sylvester McCoy's run where the TARDIS was painted bright pink. Gayest thing you've ever seen.
Hooray.
A pink police box.
Bring it back.
Well, to round us off, I'm going to introduce another new segment. It's Ken's Dating Diary. Over the years, Paul has watched my catastrophic descent into insanity. Oh, God. I've been lucky enough to be married and in another long-term relationship after that, where I was very happy for years and years. But I have been effectively single for 5 years. And I was with somebody for the best part of a year. She was a wonderful woman, and our lives just didn't mesh terribly well in the end. And I don't know where she is now. I hope she's terribly happy. She was a wonderful woman, and she knows who she is. However, that was the last time that I met anybody normal. Now, my situation has settled down. I'm perfectly happy. I've got a very good life. But I've racked up a catalogue of disaster stories over the past 4 years. And I'm going to share some of them with you now.
Love it.
Now, this one was quite recent. It's within the past few months. And I did remember, I told you about it at the time. I gave Facebook dating a whirl. Not the best move that I've ever made, but I did end up talking to somebody, and very pretty, as they always are. I will maintain that I have always punched above my weight, to be quite honest. I look in the mirror and I just see a badly stuffed sack of mashed potato, to be honest. So I have no idea how I managed to get these people. But I got talking, went on a couple of dates, really hit it off. Everything seemed to be going very well. And within a few short days, really, ended up spending a weekend together. And it was very nice. And then on the Sunday night, after this lovely weekend, I got a text message through saying, I've just been through your Facebook and I found pictures of you splashed all over with another woman. I didn't know that you had pictures of your exes on there. If I'd have known that, I never would have agreed to a date with you. This is over. And I was blocked. And I just looked at this and I thought, fucking insane.
So these were photos of your exes when you were with them, not recent photos.
Oh, the only the woman I mentioned earlier, who, the Heart of Gold, it was with her, but I've been separated from her for 4 years, and she was the last person I posted a picture of in a romantic coupley. I am with this person setting. 4 years you've trolled back through my Facebook.
Red flag.
Red flag. So, note to you, all of you out there in dating land, don't do this. Everybody has a past. I'm in my mid-40s now. The people that I'm dating are either in their mid-40s or older, and they've got a past too. And don't go raking over the coals. It's just not a good idea.
No.
But as time goes on, just the human wreckage that washes up on my shore... Yeah. So I will be, I'm going to make this a semi-regular feature. When it's my turn for episodes, I'll dig out the diary and read a couple of chapters of my dating history, just because it's so ludicrously insane.
And cautionary tales for our listeners as well.
Yes.
They will hopefully learn something.
I am in bewildered awe of all of you who are out there that have managed to secure somebody who's reasonably well screwed down.
Not insane.
Just seem to attract them. So yes, my fingers are crossed for my own future, but there we go.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. What a lovely,
story.
Tale. Thank you very much for that, Ken. We will wrap it up now and we'll be back next week.
We will.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Nine Bob Note featured Paul Isles-Rush and Ken Moss. Title music was by Mark Shyman, and the programme was produced by Maverick Productions. For more information, please visit maverickproductionsuk.blogspot.com or find us on social media.